Hello everyone, my name is Suzan Naz Uzel. I work as a policy officer at REVOLVE. Today we're going to discuss some crucial aspects of the Water Resilience Initiative with MEP Thomas Bajada. Thomas Bajada has been appointed as the Rapporteur for the European Parliament's Water Resilience Strategy Initiative. This initiative focuses on key challenges such as water efficiency, scarcity and pollution. It will serve as a cornerstone for the European Commission's upcoming European Water Resilience Strategy, scheduled for launch later this year. Thomas, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for the invitation.
So my first question is, with PFAS and other emerging pollutants becoming a major public health concern, what legally binding commitments does this strategy introduce to ensure Europe's water remains safe and free from toxic chemicals?
I think you asked a very important question to start with immediately. The science is clear. We know that there is PFAS, and we know that PFAS and all other similar chemicals, which are called the forever chemicals, are making impacts on our health. And that is something that no one should say otherwise. It's science that is telling us that. So we really need to establish something that does not exist, which are strict limitations and strict standards for PFAS and forever chemicals in groundwater and surface water. And this is what we are trying to achieve with this initiative of the European Parliament. And that is my goal, to have these strict limitations and standards for PFAS, because at the end of the day, we really need to ensure that we are prepared also on other type of emerging pollutants. So we are looking at PFAS, we are looking at forever chemicals, but also emerging pollutants, because we need to be sure that citizens can trust the system and can trust the water that they are drinking, to ensure that they know that it is safe for them to drink.
Yeah, this brings me to the second question. You mentioned already people should know the drinking water they have should be safe. So they are often told to drink more tap water instead of bottled water. But how can they be sure that it's safe? And what is being done to make tap water more accessible and trusted across Europe?
You said an important word, it's trust. We need to build the trust in the system. The tap water across the European Union, as an average, is above and has all the standards required by the European Union and the WHO. For example, in my country, Malta, as of today, the government has invested even more to be sure that the tap water, which already is following these standards and is already safe to drink, is also tasting good, in order to ensure that people lessen the reliance that they have on bottled water and drink more the tap water, which is safe for them to drink. But it's all about building trust and ensuring that they know and that they can trust the system. And that is why I'm also calling for something which I deem is an interesting idea that can be achieved by innovation and digitalization, which is real-time monitoring of the quality of tap water. Because if citizens can see the data real-time and know the quality and the standards of the tap water they are drinking, then they can trust more the system, they can trust more tap water and reduce the reliance of bottled water, which is both an economic advantage and also an environmental advantage.
You mentioned Malta, you're a Maltese MEP, and climate change is hitting hard Malta, Spain, Greece, Southern Europe. Will this strategy introduce specific support for countries most at risk, or is it a one-size-fits-all approach?
We are talking about something which, for the Mediterranean, has been existing for decades. Desertification, lack of rain, issues of water scarcity have been around the Mediterranean for decades. We remember periods where the countries that you mentioned were and are still facing scarcity issues, that sometimes they also need to close the tap water. So we have endured this for long, and we have innovated in such a way to ensure that we are more prepared and we have more water. And there are various alternatives that one can use, and that is what we are doing in my country, and also I know in other regions in the Mediterranean. We are looking at desalination plants, 70% of Maltese water comes from desalination plants because we do not have enough groundwater. Wastewater treatment, that the wastewater that we have is treated in order to be used and recycled. There are many alternatives that are being done, and we need to innovate and we need to invest more in our EU industry, in our EU water industry, in technologies, in emerging technologies, in digitalization, in order to ensure that we improve on this. And this was a situation, and water scarcity was a situation of the Mediterranean, but not only anymore. We are also seeing this trend shifting upwards. We are seeing countries like Hungary and Romania, which are now facing also impacts of desertification and climate change. So whilst we can say, yes, the Mediterranean has been a place where it has been impacted for long with water scarcity and desertification, now it's also a place of potential. It is a region of potential, and we can export what we have learned also to other countries. And that's where I come to a very important point, which is regionalization and working and cooperating in the region. In the Mediterranean, which we have already innovated so much in water management, we can now cooperate together to help others and to export what we have learned. And that's why I also welcome one of the initiatives of REVOLVE, which is looking at cooperating together in the Mediterranean and invest even more in order to ensure that we can export what we have learned with water and water management also to other countries.
Great, thank you for also mentioning Amouage. And yeah, as you said, collaboration is key. And thank you very much for making the time today and talking about these crucial topics. We appreciate it.
Thank you.